Okay, one of the questions really asked a lot early on is I can run it off the USB cable for power. Um, how can I go portable and run a power supply or run a battery for it, which is why we have this battery supply up here, this power regulator. And what we did on the Duinokit is this power supply has an output for both 9 volts, which is coming straight from the battery, and then it's got a voltage regulator to drop it down to 5 volts or 3.3 volts. There's also some connection pins right here so we can manually turn the power switch on and off, which I'll show you the reason for that in the next section when we want it to power down automatically. This power regulator has an on-off switch. I had to unplug the wire because it was getting power from the ESP32 chip, because I previously wired it up. I left in our previous project for the button controlling LED, and I'm just going to hook this up. If you look at your pinout card, and some of the kits came with the wrong card, so I already have the ground wire wired up. I'm going to put 5 volts in and flip the switch on, and we did put a light on here on the power supply because even if you don't have wires connected and you leave that on, it's running through these voltage regulators and it will drain your battery overnight. So you don't want to leave those on, so we put that little indicator light on there, and you notice when I turn that on, my board lit up, and when I press the button, all of a sudden I am portable without a USB cable. So that is the easiest way to wire your kit to get voltage, and I would just feed the 5 volts in. You can go directly from the 9 volt power supply, as it's got an onboard voltage regulator, and it will work exactly the same. It'll reduce the voltage down to the 5 volts to the 3.3 volts that microprocessor runs on. It's not recommended going much over 12 volts, and I guess if you didn't have the regulators, you can run everything off of here. The reason we put these 3.3 and 5 volt is some of these modules in here will operate off of those pins as it can't draw enough current through the microprocessor. So we may need to pull power from that battery as we're running a couple different projects. A side note on the battery, they make these in rechargeable, which I usually use on my kits. I just can't find it at the moment. They have LiPo rechargeable 9 volts that you can plug into a USB cable and charge it up. That way you don't have to keep replacing these or buy alkaline batteries. And you can also run those off of solar chargers. If there's something you're doing, you want the battery to stay charged up, or just replace those batteries with alkaline or charge them up as you go along. I like to use rechargeable so you're not throwing batteries away all the time. So that will lead us into our next topic, which is going to be an auto shutoff. The ESP32 chip has a deep sleep mode, which will use very, very little current while it's in sleep mode. However, most of the Arduinos and some projects you may just want to run for a period of time and have it automatically shut off, and that's going to be our next lesson tutorial, is this auto shut off module up here. How does it work? How can we wire it in? And I'll give you some sample code to use with that as well. There is no code for the power module for wiring that up. It's just hooking it to the 5 volt line, the voltage in, and the ground. Bye bye.